You see Dalton's just trying to pepper them from the back line here. Cause a bit of distractions. He's going to pull attention away to him. Almost able to get a kill, but the follow-up is there. Numlock will fall. Nice little halt pulls them all together. Toronto Defiant immediately losing 2, but they're going to even it out and even cap up the point. Good start for the Defiant, as well as Nevix and Logix just causing mayhem, shredding the opposition, and there we go. Player in check. Still Toronto in a pretty solid position. Kriv will fall though, which is not a great sign. You remove the Transcendence now from the fight, you remove the Discord Orb. Now Shofa wants to send in Bob. Try and contest, try and stall if he can, because they've already lost too many players here. Vancouver Titans getting a very solid entry onto the point. Still not a cap though. Numlocked as well, finding a couple of pickoffs here. Logix waiting for the health pack, but the dynamite burns him down. Unfortunate. Finally, the Vancouver Titans. Okay, Shockwave.
Wow.
Damage boost, giving his team all the tools they need to succeed. Dalton has that pulse bomb ready and waiting. A lot of ults coming out now as you see Gravitic Flux, Sure4. A quick little headshot wins the 1v1 against Shockwave there, but the counter Gravitic Flux comes out. Vancouver Titans trying to hold on to this point, but Logix is in the back line. He's aiming well. Karkar falling, finds the second one onto Shredlock and his team. That's a lot of space that he's just opened up for them. Steals the health pack away as well, so Rolf will not be so lucky. It's going to be the recap now. Toronto Defiant on 69%. So kills. They're trying to stall it out. They're doing a pretty good job of keeping the overtime going. Now we see Bob coming back in. This could be a bit of a turnaround for them. Numlock's moving over to the Wrecking Ball as well, just to try and stall it. Bob, though, gets shredded, melted onto the point, sent straight back to the scrapyard. And the follow-up is here. Toronto Defiant might just be clutching this one up. They've got the stall. They traded out, but now the Transcendence. The Vancouver Titans desperately using any ults they've got at their disposal. Gravitic Flux sent out here as KSA just trying to send the players up and packing back down again. The supercharger will be enough, the nail in the coffin. I like this. If he gets a cheeky little boop, he could be in the money. But do you even need the boops?
Oh, there we go!
Yes, you do. There you go.
Welcome back to the Overwatch League, Numlocked. You're in the hole.
That's brutal. But that's one of those things you just got to read. If you don't see the Orisa, you got to be aware. They may have the right here in the back line. Tries to go for the one clip. The pulse bomb will miss. Recalls away. But there is enough of a follow-up here to take out Sure4, which is a decent start for them. As good as an opening as any. Bob now to try and stall this point up, Josh.
Yeah, a huge opening pick, and Shockwave has been incredibly good so far in this map. It's unusual to think that Shockwave could move over from having...
Shockwave did make the move over to the Widowmaker as well, just to see if he can clutch this up. It's not ideal. You don't put out as much consistent damage compared to the Ashe, and you are quite vulnerable to dives, as you can see just there. So it looks like the Toronto Defiant are actually in a pretty solid position right now to drive.
Totally blind, though. I mean, Nevix had no idea who he was sucking up into the air, or even if he was going to get anybody. And Shredlock continues to harass and push Toronto further and further into the back. If Logix hadn't got that opening kill on Karkar, with Cruz also trading onto Dalton, then Toronto would be in a horrible position here.
Indeed, and Toronto Defiant have got a lot of these picks, though. Bob's going to just keep up the point. Shockwave ends up taking himself out. It could have been that he tried to coach gun and accidentally sent himself off the edge. I'd like to see a replay of that one, because right now, this is looking entirely the way of Toronto Defiant. The overtime just ticking down. Able to refresh it as Karkar switched over to the Lucio just to connect onto the point, but no one, I think, will be able to touch. That's going to be an equal. Be taking the middle angle, just searching for a head to hit. You can see he wants to try and take this 1v1 against him, and Sure4 goes down. You love to see it. I love the confidence to be able to take a fight like that. Logix knows he has to do something here. He's pressuring him hard into the back line. But Shockwave is going to be healed up, though, despite the fact it will not help in the end. There's Logix with the Discord Orb.
Riv sent to the Shadow Realm. And Logix now, his job is to harass the Titan sniper.
An unreal performance from Shockwave. The pulse bomb, though, from Dalton. Not able to get the kill, and Cruz will take him out. But the point does flip over into the favor of the Vancouver Titans. Not for much longer, though, because Mr. Logix is here. And oh my goodness, 3 kills for him. He wants to make it a 4th, but quick little grapple away. Shockwave does not want to be part. Recontest this one, pushing into Toronto Defiant are currently sitting at a hefty advantage. For Shockwave, finding these opening picks is exactly what they need. You see Cruz just really dancing with death a little bit here. He has the Immortality Field down, but it's now faded. Holt used to pull Shockwave off of the high ground, but he has a grapple again, and the headshot puts in enough damage for Shredlock to clean up. Numlocked. And That's pretty good, actually, for the Vancouver Titans. They're going to be able to cap this one
Their
back
tanks
over.
are so weak, though. Their tanks are incredibly weak, both KSA and Shredlock. And despite the fact that Shredlock invested his ultimate here, I feel like there's opportunity for Toronto to...
They took him out. This good orb now going to be utilized. Just trying to pressure Logix out, but Logix is a very seasoned player. Brings down Kaka, and with these pickoffs, it feels like it is just inevitable at this point.
Logix.
Defiant, they're finding so much value. Even with Shockwave finding so many headshots, Logix has been the difference maker, it feels like. Creating so much space, the tactical crouch, the overtime burns, and this is probably going to be curtains. As Kaka switches over to Lucio just to try and touch, keeps the overtime going for a short while. Stall heroes now for the Vancouver Titans, Josh, but I think this might just be done.
Yeah, and it feels so good to have Logix back on Tracer. The Lord of Tracking is back in the building. Dalton...
They need to get some stats. That's what they need to do, man. Like, I would be no.
Yeah, they're actually working around the right-hand side. They're attempting to go into Snacks Ramus at the moment, but KSA is stopping them. This was an insane play. This guy's been so good. So good for the Titans so far.
Oh, man.
That's true. There's no waffle mode available
man,
today.
you gotta be able to pick Echo so you can shoot waffles. You can't even shoot waffles, man.
Well,
No
waffle
waffles
mode
in sight.
being unavailable, I think, might have hurt the Vancouver Titans a little bit there. They had the Transcendence to be able to block the Gravitic Flux coming out from Nevix, but Toronto came back in. They're looking pretty good here to be able to cap point A.
Man, what type of gun is that? Oh my goodness.
It's called a fusion cannon, I think, actually. It's one of the few guns
I
in the game that
don't know.
the name.
Shockwave has Bob.
He looked like he ran
This
about
Bob
a
gets some
4-2.
work. He sends it in.
4-2-40 guy.
Exactly. And look, but it looks like Toronto Defiant are going to be the ones coming out on top of this team fight. They had to use their ultimates they've got available to them. The Gravitic Flux gets a lot of the damage done, and they're pushing this cart forward, pushing the payload to the end finishing point. There's Bob as well. Say hello. Matrix, little window, pumping in the damage. Kariv has to use his Transcendent. He's going invulnerable, healing his team up, but it seems like the Vancouver Titans are coming out on top. Must be that spice magic.
Oh, stop at the vending machine.
It's an arcade machine, I think. We're in a... Oh, no, there is a vending machine over there as
vending
well.
machine.
Yeah, see?
Yeah, but
Trust me, man, never go against a fat dude, man. I know what I'm talking about.
One that's taking place all over the place. It's chaos. It's pandemonium spice. Dynamite's going to get sent in. Not much time left. Toronto Defiant making it work, though. Only a couple of seconds remaining. They're getting the picks they need, but Dalton might be able to catch this one up, though, for the Vancouver Titans. He's found 2 kills, 3 kills for him. No one's able to touch, really, though. And now we see the overtime coming over. KSA on the ball. He's trying to stop this car in its tracks right now, but Nevic's going to try and turn this one around so low, but the Gravitic Flux ends up going out, gets 2 kills for his team. Dalton still alive, though. Gets the stick as well to fade away. Not good enough. It's going to be the Toronto Defiant.
Man, ain't nobody press fast forward.
The Toronto Defiant, though, they're trying to press fast forward right now. You can see them using the ults. They've got a couple of pickoffs. It's looking pretty good for them right now. The Vancouver Titans, they've got to try and stop them here, but with Dalton going down like that, it's not ideal.
Man, what is going on?
Toronto Defiant rolling it forward.
I think that's the cry of the Vancouver Titans coach.
Toasted candles. No harm
Urban
done.
Harmony.
There you go. Zyke.
Uh-oh, come on, 97%. Here we go.
He's destroying it, 99%. He's almost got that ultimate available to him. The pulse bomb comes out. Doesn't get anything done with it, though. Toronto Defiant, they're closing this one up. They've got to try and clutch it. Now, the Vancouver Titans, they put down the amplification matrix. They're sending the people in, but it is all sure for in the kill feed right now. It's collecting names, collecting heads, if you will. And that is going to be a completion. They get all 3 capture points in the end. Spice. Roller coaster. Right now when his team's trying to win, they're trying to push it in, as you can see. Trying to get the capture or control of the point. A lot of damage, though. Toronto Defiant, they immediately take out 3 players of the Vancouver Titans.
What?
Unfortunately, Dalton couldn't quite get enough done, and he's going to fall as well. Through social distancing, no one else in the park, I guess. Should be admitting to breaking into the theme park, Spice. But here we go, Dalton gets the post bomb. He's cracked it wide open, and there you go. Vancouver Titans. They take this capture, and they're going to get it.
Yes, sir. Oh, what is that? They just built a whole big old blob right there. What is? Dude, get out of here.
Trying to find it. tearing through them, but the heals are there. Rolf is doing enough there. Again, the wall comes up, but the heals are there. The immortality field as well. It's a little ice wall, you know, the ice wall in the middle of the
slushy.
a little bit like a slushy. Very solid slushy.
Yeah.
Trying to break through it. Toronto Defiant, though, they're good for the time being. They're holding on to this checkpoint. They forced the Vancouver Titans away. So, gonna get a bit of downtime now, as you said, Spice. Maybe they can pick up a couple of refreshments, you know?
And you've never had a slushy.
I don't look like an egg. You're thinking of Josh.
Oh,
Josh
yeah.
is this Lex Luthor looking dude.
Yeah, that's me that looks like an egg, Spice.
Listen, I know.
Oh, man. You're right. I can't.
It's okay. It's okay. All British people, we look the same. We sound the same, except I've still got hair and I don't look like I'm approaching 40. That's the difference maker.
You said we was going to have this problem. And sure enough, we did. I'm sorry, Josh, but you still look like an egg.
Thank you. To using magical powers to influence an Overwatch match.
Yes.
All right, okay. We'll have our League Ops investigate later on.
Yep,
Don't judge me, okay? Because some people have never had slushies. So
True.
listen, what, you're going to keep bringing this up the entire cast? You can't keep
Yes.
holding this over my head. Okay.
Oh yeah. It's gonna be over. She's about to see
This is your favorite. This is your favorite time, Spice. It's squeaky bum time for the Vancouver Titans fans.
Squeaky bum! Squishy bum!
No, not squishy.
Sweaty bum time, baby!
The Vancouver Titans, they're trying their hardest, bless them.
Come on, baby.
They're trying their hardest. They can feel the cheers of Spice Adams in the background.
What is happening?
The overtime's burning, but Short Force cleaning up, and that is going to be the map. Toronto Defiant taking the win. Force them away out of this corner. They are slowly contesting just a little bit here. I'm surprised that Toronto Defiant don't want to press the advantage anymore, but it appears that they just wanted to clean up a couple of the stragglers behind them, and now they can start to move forward and force them off the point.
I like this patient play, though, from Toronto. They're waiting for Vancouver Titans to push back in. They know that they'll have the shield pressure, and Numlock gets the pick on Shredlock. Shredlock and KSA have honestly been getting worked in the tank neutral by Numlock and Nevix. And I think that how much they're really doing in a fight, but Numlock's doing well, and the tank battle has been going in their way. But Dalton's got something to say about it, sensing the Bob and the Dynamite. And that's that first attack. Absolutely crushed.
Oh my goodness. Back almost to the initial spawn area. I mean, it's absolutely absurd. The Gravitic Flux now going to be used. Toronto Defiant have to answer with their own Transcendence just to stay in the fight, and they're finally getting some pickoff. So, Karkar had the Discord Orb on him. Kariv chased him down. His team were able to find this pick. Still,
eventually, the Toronto Defiant will win this fight, but it's about how many ults they use in the process of doing so and how much time it takes. There's no chance that, even if they full team wipe, like they almost did there, Toronto...
This one with the Transcendence, they have to initiate in. You can see Rolf just trying to keep his team alive, but it's already faded. You get one pick off for it, traded though in the end. It's still a positioning advantage right now for the Toronto Defiant. Going to be able to cap this one up as soon as they clean up that play, and there you have it. It's going to be 1 minute. It's on the high ground, and this is a brutal position to be in if you're the Toronto Defiant, because you have to deal with so much at once. Already you see Surefall being pressured out. He will go down, but not before Shockwave falls, which is a good trade away for the Toronto Defiant. Taking away the May player. A good answer to it. Nevix falls as well, and now the Toronto Defiant are looking a little bit split here. The Vancouver Titans on the attack, steadily winning this one, and it is that war of attrition. Doesn't matter if you're fighting Ants, the Toronto Defiant, or just general warfare. Sun Tzu can attest to that. All it takes is a small little grain of sand to snowball. Dragon Strike comes out. It's going to be sucking a couple of players in. Ice Block has to be utilized here by Zeke just to try and survive it, but Numlock will fall. Numlock going down. The ultimates are now starting to come out. An absolute flood of utility being used to try and take this fight. You see the damage, the Hulk comes up. The Gravitic Flux, though, from Toronto Defiant to try and turn this fight in their favor. Remember, they're on the defense, but they need to get some bodies onto this point. They've almost capped it up. Only a couple of seconds remaining on a couple of percentages. No one's really stalling this one out, but finally, Kariv does build up the Transcendence, heals up the rest of the team, and stops the bleeding. Enough.
Wow.
Just in the nick of time. 97%.
That was so close, and I'll tell you who the clutch players were there.
Well, now you see Numlock's using that supercharger. You might be asking yourself, well, why would you do that? Well, it's just to buy a bit of time, because it forces the Toronto Defiant to play a little, or forces the Vancouver Titans, I should say, to play a little bit more passive and Toronto Defiant capitalize off that straight away. They're able to take much more aggressive angles off the back of it and win that team fight just off the back of a singular ult. Defiant have a lot to work with. The Blizzard, as you can see, Zyke waiting. Sends it out, freezes them up. The Immortality Field will not be saving Karkar. He goes down, and that wall was perfect as well. It blocked off the Transcendence healing. An instant pick-off for the Toronto Defiant means their chances of victory go up almost infinitely, Josh.
Yeah, to a huge degree, especially because KSA and Shredlock was so incredibly weak after the Transcendence had faded as well. So, despite the fact that Shockwave's gone under the...
Now you can see the Amplification Matrix was unloaded. Shortfall was out in the open, and he gets brought down. But River's there with the Transcendence to keep his team alive, heal them up, keep them in this fight. Overtime burning now. Last-ditch effort for the Vancouver Titans, and they found the pick-offs necessary. Everyone is falling. The Vancouver Titans may have just done this. In their moment of need, Shockwave was the one to open it up, and they are going to be able to get that final capture. Amplification Matrix is going to be forcing Toronto away, but if they work their way into the line of sight now, it could be curtains for them. A lot of ultimates being used now. The Blizzard unloaded. Could be anyone's game. You can see Roth comes back into the fight here with the Transcendence, but Shawfar on the high ground is doing damage, destruction, raining it down on his opponents, and the Bob is the cherry on top. Bob v Bob action, but Bob was not there to defend the point, and that is going to be the Toronto Defiant taking the map and taking...